there, my super scientists. It's Thursday, April the 29th. And I've got my hat on because it is getting hot in here today. What do you think we're working on in science? We will identify physical characteristics of different animals. Remember these yellow words from yesterday? Let's say them again today. Ready? Physical characteristics. Yeah, like what do you see on my hat? What are the characteristics of my hat? It's round. It's large. What colors do you see here? Those are my characteristics. Now, we won't be describing hats today. We'll be using characteristics on animals. How? We will use Pebble Go to illustrate and label physical characteristics of a desert animal. What kind of habitat are we studying today? Say it with me. Desert. Look at my girl out in the desert. I've got my hat to protect me if I was in the desert. What kind of animals do you think live in the desert? Tell me one. I see these little cute meerkats. They like the desert. Why are we studying these desert animals? We will understand how characteristics help animals survive. Say that last yellow word, please. Survive. Do you think that you could survive in the desert? I don't know. There's not much water there. But there are a lot of animals that have special things, characteristics to help them survive. Today, we'll be showing one of those animals in our journals. We'll label the characteristics that it has. But first, let's study the desert. Lots and lots of animals. To the desert we go!
Desert animals live in the driest places on Earth. Deserts get little rain. Most deserts are also hot. Desert animals are adapted to these hot, dry places.
Now, I already told you the desert was hot. But we also learned here that it is very, say this D word, dry. When something is dry, that means it has little water. The desert gets little rain. If it doesn't get much rain, it doesn't have much water. Look at that picture. Do you see any water? No, but you already learned we need water to survive. I need it. You need it. My flowers need it. So if it's dry and there's no rain, how do these things survive out there? It says that they have adapted. Say that word, please. Adapted. What does it mean?
Adapt. To change to fit into a new or different environment.
So that means these animals have changed themselves to fit in a new or different environment. They said, hey, we're stuck out here in this hot desert habitat. We got to change something. We got to fix ourselves so that we can still live and survive out here. How did they fix themselves? What did they do? Bodies. Show me, where's your body?
Desert animals have bodies that help them save water. A reptile, like the Gila monster, does not sweat. Its skin keeps water inside the body.
That is a very impressive adaptation. It says that this reptile does not sweat. What's sweat? Do you sweat?
Sweat. To give off water when the body is hot.
Oh yeah, I sweat. Have you ever been really hot or you were exercising really hard and your head started to feel wet? Or maybe under here got a little wet? That's your sweat. We all do it. It's when we're very hot. It happens. But it says this Gila monster and other reptiles do not sweat. Their water doesn't come out their body when they're hot. It keeps the water in their body. They have special skin. Look at their skin. Do you have the same skin? I don't. Our skin is sweating. They are not sweating. And that's good for them. They want to keep the water in their body. Because remember, they can't find any water out in the desert. They need all the water they can have inside. So no sweat. Water stays in. Very, very impressive reptiles in the desert. That is one characteristic you could show me today in your journal. But we have more. Here come the camels.
It can be hard to find food in the desert.
Where's the food?
Camels have humps that store fat.
A hump?
Camels use the fat when they can't find food or water.
What was that? Now, did you know that camels have humps? Yes or no? Do you have humps? Yes or no? We do not have humps. They have humps. Why? Because it's hard to find food. So camels have humps full of fat. Camels use the fat when they can't find food or water. So they've eaten all this food and they've stored the fat up in their hump on their back. All my fat goes in my belly. They're just going up on that hump on their back. And then on a day they can't find any food, their body just uses some of that stored fat and water. They don't find food every day, but they have it stored up in that hump for when they don't have food and water. That's pretty impressive. Do you have a spot back there to hide food when you're hungry? I don't. That's our second characteristic we've learned today. On to the nighttime.
To stay out of the sun, many desert animals sleep during the day. They wake up at night. In the cool darkness, scorpions hunt for food.
Take a look. What is this thing called? Scorpions! Have you ever seen a scorpion? Now it says they are hunting for food in the cool darkness. Why do you think they don't want to hunt during the daytime? What's up in the sky that's so hot? The sun! Good job. It says that they want to stay out of the sun. They don't want the sun on their bodies. They're too hot. So they sleep in the day, and at night they're up hunting in the cool darkness. Do you sleep during the day? We got work to do here at school. At night, we sleep. But that's different for the desert animals. They're too hot in the day. They sleep in the day, and they come out at night. That's our third characteristic we've learned. 1, their bodies don't sweat. 2, they can store fat and food. 3, they sleep in the day, and they do what at night? Hunt. One more tabby to learn. Woohoo!
Many birds live in deserts. They get water from the insects they eat. The elf owl stays cool in its nest in a cactus.
Take a look at this photo. What's this animal called? An owl. And he didn't build his nest with little branches and little twigs up on a tree. Where is he? Inside a what? A cactus. So he's built his nest inside of the cactus so he can be protected. He can stay out of the sun. And it's a lot cooler inside the cactus. That's a different kind of nest he's made than other birds that are not in the desert. But he also gets water from the insects that he eats. He's hunting for those insects during the nighttime and getting his water from them too. Or he's hiding in his cactus nest, staying cool until an insect comes out. Let's watch the video. What's that thing? Roadrunner. Look at all that desert. No water. Ah! He's going. Fast. Okay, look at that desert. Where's the water? Where's the food? It looks very, very dry there. Let's go look at that bird again. Now look at this bird's body. His body is covered in what? Feathers. What is his mouth? I don't have that kind of mouth. What do you call that thing? A beak. A beak. He has a sharp beak. He has fluffy, fluffy feathers. What are these things called? Wings. What does he use his wings for? I wish I could do that. Do you wish you could fly? And look at those feet. Very skinny feet. And what's on the end of those feet? Some claws. I bet he catches some frogs, scratches the dirt, and uses them to protect himself. Now that we've learned all we can on Pebble Go desert animals, it's time for us to get started on our journal. First, let's review vocabulary. We are studying animals, and animals are living. One more time, say that word, living. You will show me a living animal from the desert today. And their characteristics. Say that long word, please. Characteristics. Like you said, the characteristics of my hat are round, large, pink, and blue. The characteristics of these dogs are fluffy, fast, white, black, brown. We'll use characteristics on our desert animals today. Another new word is diet. Everybody say diet. A diet is what foods an animal eats. Look at this koala. What is the koala's diet? What is he eating? Lots and lots of what? Leaves. He's not going for the meat. His diet is plants. Last word, survive. Say it with me, please. Survive. You are going to show me how did those desert animals survive in the desert? What are their special characteristics? We're ready to get started. So you need to grab your journal number 1, your pencil number 2, and you know I want to see color in the desert, so get your crayons. When you have these 3 things, come meet me on video 2 so we can start our desert animal.